Alright, YouTube, what's going on? So, I wanted to talk about another issue that's been on my mind, and it concerns politics in the state of Massachusetts, where I am both from, born, and raised. So, I wanted to talk about this, and pardon me, my nose is itchy as fuck because allergy season. You know how that goes, but there is a gubernatorial election coming up this year. Election day for governor of Massachusetts is November 8th of this year. And with just several months away to decide who's going to be there, who's going to take Charlie Baker's place after he steps down, because he actually has decided that he's actually not going to run again. Neither him or Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito are going to run again, which I'm kind of bummed out about, if I'll be honest, because as a Republican governor, Charlie Baker has been phenomenal. Like, he's been a great leader for this state. Like, he truly has been. I mean, he's done so much. He's done so much good for us when it comes to, like, economics, education. He's cut taxes in a lot of areas. He has failed to reduce others. He refused to reduce others, rather. He's expanded more in housing. He's done a lot more. Like this apartment right here that Steven and I both split the cost of, $800 for me and $800 for him. I mean, it's partly because of Baker's leadership as to why it was more easier for Stephen and I to get a place that we can afford together, even in a Democratic-run state like Massachusetts that tends to be more expensive than other places. But I wanted to make this and talk about this, and I am thinking about who's going to be running and what my thoughts are for the governor's race coming up for Massachusetts. And I'm willing, in all honesty, and everyone knows this, like, you all know that I'm pretty much on the left. I think a lot of you know, I think most of you know that at this point. I mean, I think you all know that. I'm center left, but I'm a big advocate for social democracy, like in the Nordic countries. I'm a social democratic revolutionary. I mean, I'll come out and say it. I mean, I'm pretty far left when it comes to that, but I'm not far left, if you know what I mean. But when it comes to that, I'm kind of more on the left on that side when it comes to those things. But if somebody is halfway decent as a Republican, I'm willing to vote Republican, because I voted Republican. I voted for Charlie Baker. I voted for him in 2008. I voted for him in 2018 when he ran the first time in 2014. I think it was 2013, 14. I think I was just before I turned 18, so I wasn't technically old enough to vote yet. But when Charlie Baker ran the second time in 2018, I actually voted for him, actually. So he actually won by a landslide, because the guy running against him, Jay Gonzalez, was way too far to the left, even for someone like me who's pretty much on the left on a variety of issues, and would be considered far left when it comes to, like, healthcare and education and things like that. So no, I didn't vote for Jay Gonzalez, because I thought he was too fucking liberal, way too left-wing for even my taste, because I knew that he would raise taxes, and I don't want Massachusetts turning into another fucking California. Like, I don't, because look, I mean, for a Democrat state, Massachusetts is pretty good. I mean, we're pretty civilized. I mean, we're not like California. We're not like New York. We're not like batshit insane like those places are that are run. I mean, for a Democrat-run state, we're pretty moderate. I mean, we had a Republican governor, and a lot of rural areas in Mass, contrary to popular belief, are more red than you would think. But this is why I actually would support a moderate Republican to run next. And the reason why is because I know exactly what the Democrats are going to do of today, because look at what we've got as options. Now, the big leader in the Democrat race for governor of Massachusetts is Maura Healey, who was the Attorney General of Massachusetts, and she is way too far to the left, even for my taste. Like I said, I've reiterated that many times. I'm a social revolutionary. I'm sort of a leftist, but I'm not like a full-on leftist or progressive. I'm like a moderate leftist. But I will not support someone like that, because she would turn us into fucking California. She would make us she would raise taxes like no tomorrow. She would absolutely do that. People like her, people like Elizabeth Warren and people like that. I don't have that many problems with Elizabeth Warren. There's some things about her I don't like. I'm kind of just mixed about her. But I don't know. It's like, there's just some of them that are just too far to the left. I mean, there's her, there's a few others. I don't know. I'm probably missing names here, but in all honesty, if it was Maura Healey versus Jeff Deal, I would vote for Jeff Deal in a heartbeat. Like, I don't care. Okay, I'm mostly, like I said, I've said this, I can't stress this enough. Like, yes, I would vote Republican over her anytime. And the reason is because, okay, Jeff Deal was backed by Donald Trump. Here's the thing. Jeff Deal was sort of friendly with Trump. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay? Chris Sununu of New Hampshire, who's also a very, very good politician as well, a great governor for New Hampshire as well. One of my best friends is from New Hampshire, and he is a big fan of Chris Sununu. He's also a big fan of Charlie Baker as well. And so, yeah, that basically is like what it comes down to. Okay, Chris Sununu was sort of with Trump in the beginning, but obviously they fell out after Chris Sununu started calling Trump out on his bullshit, because let's be honest, Trump has fucking alienated everyone at this point, just about everyone, and anyone who dares to disagree with him is a rhino, is a this, is a that, all these stupid fucking bullshit names. And yes, Chris Sununu was a rhino in their eyes, and is like, Charlie Baker's a rhino, and a Republican in name only. Like, go fuck yourselves, people. So, yeah, Jeff Deal was backed by Donald Trump. I don't really care. Okay, I trust Jeff Deal over Maura Healey. And the reason is because I know for a fact that Jeff Deal is probably going to continue doing many of the things that Charlie Baker has done. Is he more conservative than Charlie Baker is? Probably. Charlie Baker is a moderate conservative. I would say he's socially liberal. He's probably I would say socially liberal and maybe economically conservative. That's how he is. See, conservatives over in Europe, like Norwegian conservatives, and like the Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg, who used to be in there. She was in there for some time, and there's probably some other moderate conservatives. I mean, obviously they're more moderate than what the conservatives are in this fucking country, but see, Charlie Baker would be an example of what a European conservative would look like. Same thing with Chris Sununu, same thing with Larry Hogan in Maryland. Now, see, people like that I would support being in office, and I would vote for. I'd vote for them as president, I'd vote for them as governor, I'd vote for them as anything, because they're socially liberal, they're not going to infringe on the rights of LGBT people like myself. Charlie Baker is pro-LGBT, pro-gay marriage, and he's done a great job for the economy. He's done a lot of great things, and he's done a great job as leader of this state. He really has. And just hearing people from out of state say things about him, and including my friends from New Hampshire as well, it makes me happy that he was there, because it's like, oh my god, Massachusetts actually has a leader that I can actually look at, and others from out of state can look at, and it kind of makes me not embarrassed as to where I'm from. And that's kind of why I feel bad for people who are from California who have this reputation, because their politicians have ran California into the toilet. It's just as extreme to the left as Alabama is to the right, but that's besides the point. So the reason is because I know that Jeff Deal would not raise taxes on on people like myself. They wouldn't be jacking up fucking taxes like no tomorrow. Now, see, here's how I feel when it comes to taxes. Now, you know how I am. I am a social revolutionary. I am a social democrat. I am a social democrat. I don't want to say democratic socialist because I know if I say that, people are going to throw around the term because people don't fucking know the difference between the two. Okay? It's the same fucking thing. Social democracy or democratic socialism. It's the same fucking thing, okay? I don't care what people say. That's how it is, okay? If you know your basic political terms, and if you look up this stuff and you actually know about these facts, it's the same thing. It's what every modern developed country has. It's what the Scandinavian countries have. It's what most of Europe has. It's what Canada and the UK and Australia and New Zealand have. Okay? So, what do I think? Sorry, I don't mean to go off on a bunch of tangents, but what are my thoughts on taxes and things like that? I'm mixed when it comes to taxes. Now, see, that's the thing. I'm against the gas tax. Why am I against gas taxes? Because you see how the gas taxes are. You see what the big for-profit oil companies do in this fucking country, like what they're doing over the Russia-Ukraine thing and Joe Biden and so on and so forth. You see all that. So they'll use like conflicts around the world and imperialist wars around the world as an excuse to jack up the gas taxes. So no, I'm not in favor of gas taxes. I'm at least not in favor of raising them any further than what they are. That's number one. I'm also not in favor of income taxes because I feel I'm probably more conservative than my fellow lefties are. I think, and actually most of my conservative friends believe in this, and my dad also believes in this too. Stephen believes in this too. The latter two are probably center-right at best. My dad's center-right as well, and so isn't Stephen. They believe that if you work for your money, you should get 100% of your money. That money should all go to you. I'm in agreement with that. I don't think they should deduct any money from your pay whatsoever. That money should go to you 100%. Sales tax, yeah. Sales tax makes sense. I'm for sales tax. I say sales tax, sure. Maybe a few other things, like, I don't know, maybe an energy tax, or maybe a flat tax, or business tax, or a wealth tax. Yes, that's the one I'm for. I'm for a wealth tax for the fucking rich, capitalist, bloated, corporatists in this country that have more fucking money that they cannot spend fast enough. So those people, they need to be paying more taxes because they can do it, and that way we can fund the actual good things that we need for this country, and improved infrastructure, better health care, and universal health care, universal education, things like that. So yeah, taxes like that, yes. I'm in favor of a wealth tax and a sales tax, but income tax and things like that, no. I'm against that. I'm against gas tax. I'm against those types of things because I don't think taxes in those areas are necessarily appropriate. I think a wealth tax is necessary, and I think a sales tax is necessary, and that can be used to raise, social democracy and things like that. Obviously, the Nordic countries do it in a different way. So, with all that being said, I think that I would trust Jeff Neal over her when it comes to economics because I mean, it just comes to the fact that it would make more sense that a moderate Republican would be better on the economy than what the Democrats are today, because this is what the Democrats are of today. They're either way too fucking far left that even I can't stand as a center lefty, as a leftist when it comes to healthcare and education and so on and so forth. They're either that or they're fucking diet right-wingers like Joe Biden is and Joe Manchin and fucking idiots like that. Or Obama to a lesser extent. So you got that, and then you got the other Republicans that are either fucking alt-right, batshit insane, Trump dick-sucking morons, or they're just fucking wishy-washy neocons that are they'll bitch about Trump a little bit, but it's only because of his mean words or whatever. So it's people like that. So that's what we got in this country. We either got a fucking diet Republican Party or we got a straight up Republican Party. It's pick your poison. What do we got? No, it's a joke. Okay, it's a fucking joke. Okay, it's a joke. But on most issues. When it comes to the variety of other issues, like more often than not, I would side more with the Democrats on the issues. But I'm not a Democrat myself. So, why would I, despite everything I said, why would I support Republicans in the Massachusetts election for 2023? Because I think there's better people on that side than there are on the Democrat side. That's the reason. Because I'm actually independent. I'm a left-leaning, social democratic style independent. Okay, that's what I am. I mean, I actually voted for Bernie in 2016, actually. But I think that they would be, I think that considering what we know now, you know, but we got a very, very select few people left in the Republican Party that are actually halfway decent, like Charlie Baker, Chris Sununu, and Larry Hogan, and Phil Scott, and people like that. We've got people like that. Or Mike DeWayne in Ohio, I think, is another one. He seems to be pretty all right. People like that seem to be more, you know, they're socially moderate, but they're good on the economy. They're not going to like cut taxes for the rich, but they're actually going to cut taxes where it's necessary, like gas taxes and so on. They're better on things like that. Okay? They're better on things like that. They are. Like, for example, New Hampshire is mostly tax-free. They only have property taxes. And property taxes I'm kind of mixed about, but that's a whole nother topic altogether. New Hampshire is very successful for an American state. I mean, Massachusetts is too, but... So, overall, yes, when it comes to that, I think that the Republicans running in Massachusetts for that, I think would be better on the economy. And I think and people can say what they want about Jeff Deal and whatnot, but I don't care how they feel about Trump. I don't care about what they feel about Trump. Because Trump is not on most people's minds. Okay, that's the thing. Okay? That's really the thing. Okay? Jeff Deal, in all honesty, does not care about LGBT rights. He's not going to infringe on LGBT rights in Massachusetts. Massachusetts was actually the first state to legalize gay marriage. It was one of the first to enact LGBT protections, and on a whole host of other things. He has actually, I mean, I think he was against transgender protections at one point, but I think he's for it now. He supported a gay GOP candidate that was criticized by another committee member. He came out in favor of that person. So, no, Jeff Deal doesn't seem all that bad. He really does not. I mean, he might be more conservative than Baker is, but whatever. I'd vote for him over Maura Healey. Like, Maura Healey is like another version of fucking Gavin Newsom. And I fucking hate Gavin Newsom. Like, Gavin Newsom is a fucking, oh my god. I don't know how anybody could support him at this point with the way that California's going. I cannot. And I just would think that Democrats, how they're way too far to the left or they're so fucking corporatist they just don't give a shit. So I think those people would not be good for the state. And if you get them way too far left, they're going to California, Massachusetts. And I do not want us to be that way. Okay? I don't. I'm fine with the way it is today. Yes, Massachusetts needs some improvement in some areas. Oh, of course. I don't doubt that for a second. Massachusetts overall is not a bad state. For American standards, we're pretty good. We still have room for improvement in many areas, but we're pretty good. I mean, probably the worst thing is that traffic around here is crazy sometimes. Especially on Fridays. You know, 1 minute you'll be driving down the road, there's very few cars. Then the next minute you got like a 5-mile backup up all the way up to the next intersection or something. You know, it's things like that. So, with all that being said, I think we are, for a Democrat-run state, we're a lot better than other Democrat-run states. I mean, generally speaking. I mean, yeah, there's most areas are pretty good. There's obviously some not so good areas. You know, there's obviously not so good areas, but overall we're not that bad, especially compared to like other Democrat-run states that are like they're so expensive that I don't even know how people could live there. I don't. Like California, New York, Washington State, Oregon. I don't know how anybody could live in those places because I know I couldn't and I wouldn't. So, you know, Steven's from Indiana, and Indiana is super cheap. So, you know, and Steven wanted to move here, and we got a place of our own. Because let me tell you something. If I was from California, I would have moved the fuck out of there years ago. I would have went to Indiana. Like, I would have moved to Indiana in a heartbeat. And I've said that multiple different times. So, no, Republicans that are moderates are better on the economy. Majorly, generally speaking, my main focus going forward, it's not about Trump, it's not about whatever. It's about, now see, if Jeff Deal was not, like, if he was like anti-LGBT, if he was like Rick Santorum or like Tim Hulskamp or some fucking crazy right-wing batshit insane nut job like that, then no, I would say fuck him, I wouldn't support him either. But actually, if you look at his record, he's pretty moderate, despite his support for Trump, I guess, at one point. I don't know. Whether or not he supports Trump, I don't give a fuck. Is he a good leader? Okay, whatever. If he's a good leader, I'll vote for him. If he's up against Maura Healey, I'll vote for him in a heartbeat. If, you know, I would vote for him in a heartbeat over her. I mean, or if it was like a moderate liberal that is not a corporatist, but at the same time is not like a crazy batshit insane like leftist, like Maura Healey or Michelle Wu in Boston, which I also cannot fucking stand. She's the mayor of Boston. She's fucking shit. She's horrible. She's a batshit insane person too. I can't stand her either. She's way too fucking far left. I mean, she's ridiculous. A lot of people in Boston do not like her, and they can tell you that for a fact. I mean, they'll tell you that for a fact. Like, she's way too far left. Like, she kept mask mandates and shit like that when the rest of the state was getting rid of it all. You know, like, my main focus is on the economy, how we can do for a state, how we can do on healthcare, and just living standards, everything. Just that. Like, okay, whatever. As long as everyone in this state and people that I care about, including Steven and how my own life is, if we can still live happy, decent lives, and we're not getting price gouged up the ass, and we have a governor that I can look at and say, hey, that's my guy. He's a good representation for my state like Baker was. Then you know what? I will vote for them, whether it's Republican or not. As long as they're not super, like, batshit insane to the right, or they're not too batshit insane to the left, I'll vote for them. Whoever I like the best, or whoever I think is going to be the best for the state, I'm going to vote for them. And at this stage of the game, I think Republicans are going to be the best for this state. I mean, I know I might sound like I'm all over the place when it comes to these types of things, but this is what I believe in. This is how I feel. I'm left-leaning, but I'm independent. If I like a Republican, I will vote for them. If I like a Democrat more than the other person, I will vote for them. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. I will look at them and I will vote for them, and I will say that that's my guy. That's my you know, that's hey, that's my guy, or that's the woman that I want to vote for. I don't care. It's whatever. Whoever's going to be the best, I'll vote for him. And all we can do is just hope for the best. That's really all I can say. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here, and because I'm gonna head to bed because it's after midnight. It's another one of those after night episodes of this channel that I've been uploading as of late. So I'm gonna do that, and because Steven already went to sleep, and I'm gonna head to bed with him. I just got done hanging out with one of my best friends, so I'm gonna I'm going to upload this video, head to bed. I'll probably do another, because it's after midnight, so I'm going to say later today. So probably later today I might do some more. I have more video ideas coming up. I'll probably upload more later today before the weekend before I go back to work. So I'm going to end it here for now. I'll probably be back later today with more videos before the weekend before I go back to work. But anyway, thank you all for listening. See you all again in the next video, stream, premiere, content, more stuff in the works. Stay tuned to find out more videos on the way. This is Zach the Celtics guy saying thank you for watching. See you all again in the next video. See you all again next time in the next stream, video, premiere. You know how it all goes. I'll see you all again in the next one coming up your way soon. See you all again next time. Bye for now. Peace out and have a good one. All we can do is hope for the best. Peace out.